Al is a really, really big fish, although he is kind-hearted. Other fish have a very hard time getting past his looks. He's just too big and too scary. Try as he might to change his appearance, Al just can't get a break. No one wants to be his friend. Then one day, a fishing net is dropped into the sea, and Al shows the other fish his true colors.
Big Al by Andrew. Big Al by Andrew Clements Yoshi.
In the wide blue sea there was a very friendly fish named Big Al. You could not find a nicer fish.
Hi! But Big Al was also very, very scary.
Other fish seemed to have at least one friend. Some had many, but Big Al had none.
He did not really blame the other fish.
So big.
How can I expect little fish to trust me, a great big fish, with eyes and teeth skin and teeth like these?
So Big Al was lonely and cried big salty tears into the big salty sea.
But Big Al really wanted friends, so he wrecked at it.
First he tried wrapping himself up with seaweed.
This will make a great disguise. But no one else thought so. Who wants to stop and talk to a floating plant that has big sharp teeth like these? I know. What if I put myself up all big and round? The other fish would laugh and see how clever and silly I can be.
All they saw was how big he could be, and they steered clear.
Very early one morning, Big Al went down to the bottom and flopped and wiggled himself into the sand until he was almost covered up.
He looked much smaller. When other fish came near, Big Al talked and joked with some and had a delightful time. Hey guys, why didn't you say you're a girl? How come? Because of the selfish.
But then one scratchy little grain of sand got stuck in his gills, and he sneezed.
When the clouds of sand cleared away, all the other fish were gone.
Big Al even changed his color one day so he could look like he belonged to a school of tiny fish passing by. He bubbled along with them for a while, laughing and feeling like he was just one of the crowd.
But he was so big and clumsy when all the tiny fish darted to the left and then quickly back to the right. Big Al just plowed straight ahead. He went bumping and thumping right into the little fish.
Before he could even say, "Excuse me," they were gone, and he was all alone again, sadder than ever.
Just when he was starting to be sure he would never have a single friend, something happened.
He was floating along sadly watching some of the smaller fish and was wishing they would come closer as he watched. A net dropped down silently from above, and in an instant they were caught.
Oh no! Somebody help us!
Big Al forgot all about being lonely, and he forgot all about being sad. His eyes bulged out bigger and rounder than ever, and with a mighty flip of his tail, he opened his mouth and charged straight at the net.
The net was strong, but Big Al was stronger. He ripped right through it, and all the tiny fish started through the hole. But when Big Al tried to turn around and go out of the hole, he got all tangled up in the net. He was stuck.
Oh no, I can't get loose.
The net went higher and higher toward the bright surface of the sea, and the little fish watched Big Al as he disappeared above them.
The fish were finally able to speak again. That's you! Wonderful! Fish! Saved us!
It's so great to be free! What a shame the fellow was captured.
Just then there was a tremendous crashing splash above them, and the other fish dashed away. Was it the net again?
Not at all. It was Big Al. Those fishermen took one look at him and threw him right back into the ocean. And now there is one huge, puffy, scary, fierce-looking fish in the ocean in the sea who has more friends than anyone else. Big Al. The end.
Could I have the narrator?